G'day, welcome to the show. Soul Covers here. We are on fire at the moment. Look at all that green on the screen. We go 5-1 last night. Over the last 3 days, we are 11-2 against sides and totals. Love to see that. That's up over 20 units in just 3 days. Looking very good in March, almost up 40 units in March. Again, go check out my Twitter, go check out all the recent videos. There's no cap, it's all there, all documented. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, support the channel. I think we're like 2 subscribers off 50. Would love to see us hit 50 after this episode. And yeah, if you got like any feedback, comments, you disagree with anything I say, just let me know down below. Message me on Twitter, all that good stuff. So we cashed Dallas and Indiana over. Had a small play on that. The injury news did not break our way. Halliburton got ruled out. That total closed at around 227 or 228. So we walked into that game with a bad ticket, but somehow got the win. Dallas nearly beats Indiana. Indiana took some market steam that game. That game opened at like Pacers -7, closed at Pacers -10, and Dallas ended up covering both numbers. Pistons at Miami, we like the over in that one. Pistons, top 5 pace team in 2025. They've been pushing the pace. Heat home games are also a slight overspot, even though they're a very slow team. So that was a reasonably sweat-free bet there. I'm glad I did not bet on the Pistons that game, because that Pistons line was just like begging you to take the Pistons. Like, hey, you, like, bet the Pistons. Like that, like Pistons -6 against a Heat team that's now lost like 9 or 10 in a row. Like, that line was just begging you to take the Pistons. We also cashed OKC -9. That spread got out to -12. Nice one there. And we cashed the Bulls at Phoenix. We got them at +7.5. That was actually my favorite bet on the card. And like we have to watch this, because this was a very lucky backdoor cover. The Bulls we will be back.
One pair of pants later.
We're gonna watch the last 30 seconds of this Bulls Suns game. We're holding a Bulls +7.5, and the Bulls, they were down by 20 points in the fourth quarter. With 9 minutes to go, they were down 90 to 110. So they fought all the way back, now in range to cover with 26 seconds left. Look, they just give up a layup just like that. Giddy he played so well this game. Giddy gets the layup.
Racing down the floor as the Suns quickly surrender to Chicago. He scored in 2 seconds. Booker tied up.
Let's just skip these free throws.
So give the Suns credit. Yeah, look, the Heat lost tonight already, so it was an opportunity as Cody Moore.
Kobe White loses it, so I'm just like, oh god, like, oh, this ticket's done. We've lost. And then the Bulls just shoot a layup with 4 seconds to go. For no reason. And that gets us to cover. Like, if you were on the wrong side of that, you would have just felt sick. Like, look, all in all, like, the Bulls were the right side. Bulls +7.5 was the right side to take. I 100% stand by that. Bulls 100% the right side to take. That game closed at around Bulls +5, +5.5. So they were definitely the side to take. But we'll take that, man. We've certainly had some bad beats since starting to record on YouTube. That was not one of them. Also had the over between the Cavs and Kings. Injury news again didn't break our way. Darius Garland sat out for rest. Zach LaVine was out for personal reasons. Another game where we just didn't walk into it with a good ticket. That game, the live total was at like 217. in the first quarter, so they like really got off to a slow start. Ended up finishing around 240-ish, so that was good. And we, when we recorded the show, we only had those first 5 bets. I actually added Cavs -5.5 after the show, and that one lost. The Cavs lost outright. I certainly didn't expect that. Now they've lost 3 straight. Playing Phoenix next in Phoenix, it'll be very interesting to see where that total or where that spread opens up. All right, so let's get into it. We got 4 games on the card, so nice, short, sweet slate. Not a whole lot of good angles to play into either, so let's get into it. Let's get the odds up on screen. First, let me just fix this up. First, we have the Knicks and the Hornets. So Knicks, they're coming off a really bad loss against the Spurs where they were 10-point favorites, like 8-point favorites, and they lose outright. Knicks, on a back-to-back travel spot. Hornets at home coming off a loss to the Hawks. They got destroyed by the Hawks. LaMelo and Bridges are probable. Musa Diabate is questionable. He's actually kind of nice. Knicks injury report fairly clean outside of Brunson. We saw the rec books open this at Knicks -9. We saw the sharp books open this at Knicks -7.5. From there has been close to no movement. And this, like, you'd have to think the Knicks, you'd have to think they'd be pissed after losing as 8-point favorites to the Spurs. Like, you just have to think that. Like, Tibbs, he's going to be on their ass. So, now we see them favored by 7.5 points in a back-to-back. Don't have anything here on the spread. It's a very, very good number. Hasn't even budged at all. Where I've been looking towards is the total. And now Knicks, when they are coming off a loss against a team that's won less than 40% of their games, 6-0 to the under. So that's very interesting. As for the total, we saw this open at 225.5 at the rec books. Sharp books opened this at 222. I was able to catch a middle on this game, and that's where my action is. I'm holding an under 225.5, got that down for 3 units, and then I've got an over 221.5 for 2 units. So I've got a 4-point middle that I'm playing in this. If you're coming into this game with nothing, I would just not even bet this game at all. I just saw that there were 2 numbers 4 points apart either side. I was like, yep, I'll play both of them. We saw PointsBet in Australia. They were holding a 225.5 while the entire board was at 221, 222. So you see something like that, just go and play both sides, even if you don't have an opinion on it, because the worst thing that can happen to me in this case is I'll lose a unit. Best thing that can happen is I can win like 5 units if this lands on 223. So happy to play that. I don't really have much of an opinion on this game or total at all. It's just a bit of a gross game as well. So let's get it off my screen. Next, we have the Brooklyn Nets playing in that. We had the Pacers hosting the Nets. Let's go with that. So we saw this total open at 231.5. Quickly match that up against our projected total, and then just looking at the just an eye test, seeing a Nets total at 231. Seriously, the Nets, slowest team in the league, 3rd worst over team in the league. For context, we saw a Cavs and Nets game just over a week ago. That game closed at 223.5. Cavs, better offense than the Pacers. Yes, they've got a better defense than the Pacers, but yeah, the Pacers, like, yeah, top 10 pace team, but they don't really shoot a bunch of threes, surprisingly enough. Halliburton is still questionable. And yeah, we saw the sharp books open this at around 227, and we've seen movement down off the sharp number as well. This total has just plummeted. Make sure you go follow me at Salt Covers. Like that 231.5, that was available for about 2 hours after DraftKings opened it. And yeah, we sniffed out a bad line there. Yeah, Halliburton probably questionable again for this one. Just looking back at these two previous games between the Nets and the Pacers, both totals. Game 1 total closed at 225.5. Game 2 total closed at 220.5. Neither matchup is sniffed 231. Both of those games went under the mid 220s. So really like that under ticket. Nets on the road 21-15 to the under. Pacers 21-16 to the under after a win. So we like the under now at 223.5. That's a coin flip in my opinion. As for the spread, we saw the spread open at 9 at both Sharp and Rec Books, and now we've seen a move to 8.5. Oh, we see Circa on 8. Pacers -8, -115. That's pretty interesting. I'm not sure if I agree with that, like given the Nets are tanking, but yeah, nothing from me there on the spread. Let's move on. Bucks and Lakers. Milwaukee Bucks at the LA Lakers. This spread is really like, it's kind of been like a trampoline. We saw the Rec Books open this at Bucks -1.5. We saw the Sharp Books open this at Bucks -3. We saw this spread get up to 4. You still might be able to get a 4 on the Lakers as well, and most books have this at Bucks -3.5, Bucks -3. So if you have a Lakers team here, this is the 4th game in 5 nights and the 6th game in 8 nights. They've played 3 straight back-to-backs. Now, you do have to account for the fact that in one of those games against Denver, no Luka, no. In fact, like Jackson Hayes, like he's barely played any of these games. Luka, DFS, Gabe Vincent all sent out against the Nuggets that game. Lakers, like they've just been a covering machine at home. 24-11 against the spread at home. 28-7 straight up at home. This is a brutal stretch for the Lakers. Now, yeah, I've got this game projected at Lakers -7. Now, that number does account for LeBron being in the lineup. It does account for Lakers playing a normal schedule since they had to postpone a few games due to the LA fires. They're playing just a really brutal schedule. But I've picked up a Lakers +4 for 2 units. Now, yeah, not a great spot for the Lakers. Bucks coming off 2 straight losses. Like, they're going to be pissed. They're going to be angry. I don't care. Like, the Bucks are 3-16 straight up against top 10 teams in net rating. They're 6-13 against top 10 teams in net. 6-13 against the spread against top 10 teams in net rating. This is the one that pushed me over the line. The Bucks are 1-10 straight up on the road when they're playing a top 10 team in net rating. Like this team, they cannot beat the best of the league on the road. They just can't do it. That the only time they've beaten a top 10 team on the road is they beat the Timberwolves in Minnesota when Dame and Giannis sat out. And it was just a classic like letdown spot for the Wolves. Wolves don't give a shit in that game. They beat the Wolves without Dame and Giannis. So we picked up Lakers +4. That is personally the only number I would play this at. If you can't get a Lakers +4, I wouldn't play this. Just because, yeah, it's not a great spot for the Lakers. The Bucks are going to be super motivated coming into this game, but Yeah, we've got Lakers +4. Got that down for 2 units. As for the total, we saw the total open at 227.5 at the rec books, open at 225.5 at the sharp books. So we've seen some movement towards the over. Projected total right there with it. Don't really have much here on the total, so let's get to the last game. Nice short and sweet slate. We have the Raptors playing the Warriors in Golden State. Steph should be back. RJ Barrett is out. Gary Payton III is out. Raptors starters have been averaging around 25 to 27 minutes a game lately. They are tanking. We saw the spread open at Raptors +14 at the sharp books. It hasn't budged since. For me, this is Raptors or stay away. I haven't bet the spread yet, but Raptors are just crazy good against the spread as underdogs, and they're also really good against the West really good against the West against the spread. 19-6 ATS versus the West. Blazers are also really good, just like that, against the East. Raptors 36-23 against the spread as underdogs. That's 60%. You know, these last 2 Warriors games have just been crazy. Like, getting beaten by the Nuggets without Jokic, beating the Bucks without Steph. Like, I had bets on both of those games. We walked into both of those games fucking horrendous tickets, and we picked the right side in both games. So love to see that. For me, spread Raptors, or just don't bet it. I haven't bet it. If I see a move towards the Raptors, maybe, but I really just don't want to bet on a tanking team. Projections like the under total open at the sharp books around 226.5. Now at 225.5. Projections like the under. I'm personally not playing it. So let's get into our best bets for today. Again, make sure you guys go follow me on Twitter. That's the main thing. So we have the Brooklyn Nets at Pacers under 231.5. Got 3 units down on that. Now at around 220. What are they at? 224, maybe even lower. So love that ticket. We also played a middle on the Hornets and Knicks game. Got 4 points of middle. Got a 4-point middle there. Got an extra unit on the under. That's the direction I like better, but at 222, I probably just wouldn't play into it. Also got the Lakers +4 here against the Bucks. Bucks 1-10 straight up on the road when they're playing top 10 teams. They just can't hang with the best teams in the league, so happily take the points with the Lakers, even though it is a public spot. Not a great spot for the Lakers either, but we do see Circa moving back to Bucks -3, so some Lakers action clearly entering the market as well. Love to see that. Till next time, let's get them books salty.